Hello there everyone, and welcome again to the office. Now, I may be quiet, but rest assured, I'm listening. I know that everyone that's been watching my channel has really wanted to learn how to mod the 2DS and 3DS system. There are many different types of mods and custom firmware that you can install onto a 2DS or 3DS, but they're all a little bit complicated. Except for one mod in particular, and that is the Homebrew Launcher, and it's been made even easier with the new release of SoundHax. Now, the Homebrew Launcher might not be as cool as installing some custom firmware onto your 2DS or your 3DS, but just like a baby, you have to learn to crawl before you can learn to walk, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now please, before we get started, go ahead and verify that your version of the 3DS or 2DS will work with SoundHax. SoundHax only works with certain firmware versions, and I have those versions listed down below in the description. If this mod's going to work for you, then fantastic. Let's go ahead and start getting what we'll need to install it. Now, you're going to need just a few basic things in order to install this mod. First off, the 2DS or 3DS of your choice. You're going to need a computer, an internet connection, and also a micro SD card for a new 3DS, or a regular size SD card for one of the other 3DS versions. For your SD card or micro SD card, I recommend a minimum of 16 gigabytes. This is going to give you plenty of space to install any kind of homebrew applications you want onto it. Alright, it's time to get started. First, let's go ahead and go to the 3DS Guide website. If you can't find it, then just go ahead and follow the link that I have down below in the description. The instructions here are pretty basic and easy to follow. First off, scroll down and select what version of the 3DS you're going to be installing SoundHax onto. On the next website page, go ahead and scroll down to the chart and select the guide for installing SoundHax. Oh, well, Dr. Modelot, that's just kinda cheap. Are you just gonna have us read off of this little guide that's right here? Well, if you want to, you can. It's pretty easy to follow. But no, the main reason that I took you to this site is because it actually has the downloads listed that you're going to need to install SoundHax. You see, they're just kind of right here, just at the very top of the page, these three little links. First, we're going to start off by downloading the Homebrew Starter Kit, and that should just immediately download when you click on it. The next link is to download the actual SoundHax file. All you'll have to do is pick the region of your handheld, as well as which model of the 3DS you're using before you download it. The next thing that you're going to have to do is click on the link for the other app, Payload. You're going to have a couple of options here. First, select whether you have a new or an old 3DS. If you're using a 2DS, be sure to select the old option. The remaining spaces available are for filling in what version of the 3DS or 2DS you're using, and be sure, of course, to get this accurate. Go ahead and pop in your SD card or micro SD card into your PC. All we're going to do is copy all three of those folders we just downloaded and place them right onto the root of that SD card. Now that that's been done, you're going to have these three files on the root of the SD card. You'll have the starter.zip, an M4A file, and a bin file. First off, we're going to go ahead and extract everything from the starter.zip file onto the root of the SD card. At this point, you should have the 3DS folder and the boot.3dsx file on the root of the card. We're all finished with the .zip file, so you can go ahead and delete that, and we're actually almost done at this point. All you have to do is select the bin file here and rename it to otherapp.bin. One word, all lowercase letters. If your file system looks just like this, you can go ahead and remove the SD card from your computer and insert it into either your 3DS or 2DS. Now, actually activating the Homebrew Launcher through SoundHax is very easy. All you have to do is switch on your system and navigate over to the Nintendo 3DS Sound app. From there, open the SD card folder, and inside that folder should be a file titled Heart Nedwill 2016. Select it and press play. Both screens will go black, and then the bottom screen is going to begin flashing multiple colors. If it freezes on one of these colors, don't worry, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've done anything wrong. Just go ahead and shut off the 3DS or 2DS and then try it again. If it continues to have these issues, double check that your files are in the proper locations on the root of the SD card. However, if everything goes smoothly, you should boot right into the Homebrew Launcher. And as you can see, there are some apps that are already included with the launcher, and we're going to go ahead and take a look how to install more of these apps later on. And that's all you're going to have to do to get SoundHax working on your 3DS or 2DS. If you have future video suggestions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is Dr. Modelot. Thank you for stopping by the office.